My colleague Shiv Arur is now joining me live from the Gaza border. Shiv, what more can you tell us today about that imminent ground offensive that Israel started yesterday?
Polomi, I don't know if you can see it right behind me. A bomb has just dropped. An F-16 has just conducted an airstrike while we were on frame right now. The plume of smoke you see building in the distance behind me is the latest airstrike that's just happened. We've seen a large number of fighters, lot of air activity today, a slightly less ground activity compared to yesterday, but a lot of air activity. So that particular plume of smoke you see in this area, that's the latest airstrike that we're seeing right now. The ground operations began yesterday, Polomi, and we've been here since yesterday, in fact, in the southern part of Israel. And I can tell you that it is perhaps the biggest day as far as air operations are concerned, as is being borne out by that image behind me. 450 airstrikes in the last 24 hours is what the Israeli Defense Forces have officially announced. But all manner of weapons are being used that we can confirm. Not only are there airstrikes taking place, and this is the one you're seeing behind me is actually the 5th or the 6th since we arrived here a couple of hours ago on the Gaza front line, but also tank fire, artillery fire, and all of it concentrated in this part of the Gaza Strip, which is the northern end, the northeastern end of the Gaza Strip. We're about 1.5 kilometers from the fence. That's the reason why you've got this a very wide view of the Gaza northern sector itself, not far from Gaza City. The ground operation itself appears to still be quite limited, even though what the Israeli Defense Minister had said yesterday was that this was expanded ground activity, but this is still far less than any kind of a full-scale ground invasion of the kind Israel conducted, back in 2009 and then again in 2014. So this is still a limited ground offensive, even though it's much larger than what preceded it, which was basically squads of commando forces who had gone in for reconnaissance, for operations to eliminate terrorists who are out of reach of those airstrikes. But beyond that, one full column of tanks, Polomi, has been relentlessly firing. There was an IDF officer who was grievously injured yesterday in a mortar attack, we are told, in a sector visible from here. Another soldier was also injured in an anti-tank attack. So despite this pulverization of the northern part of the Gaza Strip, it appears that the offensive potency of the Hamas has not been obliterated completely. Let me not say not damaged, but it hasn't been erased completely, because we saw rockets flying over our heads even while we were reporting yesterday. Anti-tank fire continues. Mortars are clearly being fired. So clearly some of those positions from where the Hamas is still able to attack are out of reach, or at least not within reach just yet of the Israeli forces. So we'll have to wait and see. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant yesterday said something very telling, Polomi. He said it's going to be a long and hard war, which means not a kind of blitzkrieg, slapdash operation that goes in and comes out. It's going to be long and hard, and that brings with it a lot of complexities.
Okay, so it's going to be a long and hard war is what the defense minister is saying. Why exactly so? Is this because of the international pressure that they're going slow? Is this because of the hostages that are held by Hamas on the inside of the Gaza Strip? Why exactly has Israel decided to adopt this approach?
Three key reasons. Two of them you've named. One of them, of course, is the hostage situation, Polomi. Even though I've assessed that in the last 24 hours or 48 hours, there's been a very marked shift in how the Israeli system is viewing the entire hostage situation. They believe now that Hamas is, perhaps drunk on power, with what it managed to achieve with the terror attack on October the 7th, and is only really playing for time. It doesn't intend to release the hostages. Even though there is a mediatory process over the release of Palestinian security hostages, prisoners, in exchange for the Israeli hostages. That doesn't, for the moment, appear to be happening. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, like you said, international pressure. Israel's biggest ally, the United States, has repeatedly called on Israel to, go easy as far as the ground operation is concerned. And that's perhaps one of the big reasons why a full-scale operation of the kind, a full-scale invasion rather, hasn't yet taken place. We don't know if it will take place. But the third, very important operational reason, Polomi, is that the Hamas is, no longer being seen as just a terrorist outfit. They're being seen as an outfit that has military level capabilities, the know-how and the weaponry that they've gotten from Iran, the kind of methods that they've used to mask their presence in various parts of the Gaza Strip, the manner in which they've been able to survive, 21 days of relentless bombardment, Polomi, and still be able to live to not only tell the tale, but to attack Israel again. There have been 6 or 7 rocket attacks just today. That goes to show that this is, an enemy of Israel that understands what's coming for it, is prepared, and with each passing day is probably even more prepared. The fourth side reason, Polomi, is that it cannot be a lightning blitzkrieg operation this time. Also because, remember, there is a lot of public sentiment. I doubt there is going to be, after October the 7th, any real appetite for more losses. And the more hurriedly and more large-scale an operation tends to be, the risk of more casualties of the IDF is that much greater. And therefore, I think this time the ground operation is going to be much slower, much more deliberate, and it's going to take much longer.